Joel.
Bonjour Evan. Brad Stevens dit qu'il veut plus t'impliquer dans le jeu. Kemba Walker, avec qui tu as une bonne alchimie, pense aussi que ton rôle va augmenter. Est-ce que tu le vois aussi comme ça à l'approche de cette série? Est-ce que la motivation aussi monte avec ces playoffs forcément?
Sincèrement, je prête pas vraiment attention à ça. J'essaie vraiment d'aider l'équipe au maximum, de me tenir prêt à tout moment, que ce soit avec la balle ou sans la balle, que je fasse vraiment mon travail en défense. Et puis après, le reste, ça viendra tout seul. C'est le jeu. J'ai quand même des grosses responsabilités. J'ai un gros temps de jeu. Donc voilà, c'est à moi de jouer de la meilleure des façons pour pouvoir impacter l'équipe positivement.
Gary Washburn.
Hey, Evan, I got two questions for you. One, you've been a part of a couple of Orlando teams that won game ones as a heavy underdog, were able to kind of steal a road win. I think you beat Milwaukee and then Toronto the year before. So how do you kind of pull that off? And secondly, last year's playoff experience for you obviously was different, and you were part of that Orlando team that was on the court when Milwaukee decided to boycott, and you followed suit. Can you kind of reflect on that, what that was like last year, but also first, how do you kind of steal game ones as an underdog?
All right. I mean, there's no secret. I think, being a lower seed playing against, number one or a second seed, you just have to compete with them first. When you play the best teams in the NBA, you have to compete with them. You have to show them that, everything they're going to get is hard and that, it's going to be a long series. I think, the key for us is the way we're going to execute our game plan. And I mean, obviously at some point we're going to have to make big plays. They have big time players, so we're going to have to step up and play well together. And in regards to the game in Orlando against Milwaukee, it was, if I get it right, I think it was game 5. And yeah, I mean, we were just warming up on the court, getting ready to play. And as the clock went on and on, we just didn't see them coming. And I think there was like 12 minutes left before the start of the game, and there was still no one. So we kind of started to look at each other like, man, they might not come out. And well, I mean, you guys know the story. It was a surreal experience. It was a surreal moment. As you guys know, after that, we all had a huge meeting, players only, and it was just an incredible moment. Being a part of that moment, it felt like history a little bit. It's kind of hard to describe and put words on it, but yeah, that's my take on it.
Here, Weiss.
Evan, you guys were having a lot of miscommunications on switches over the past 2 weeks, and I'm just wondering, especially against a team where you probably have to switch, what conversations and film work have you been doing to try to get on the same page better?
I mean, I can't really go into details, sorry, but we went through all of the situations where there's switching involved, where there are players that are alike in size and the rotations, and we just talked about it, watched it, talked about it again, and everything is clear. So now everything was clear. It's just sometimes players, with the action and the intensity of the game, sometimes it's not what it's really like out there on the floor. So we just have to make it easy on ourselves and just communicate, because that's really where bad switchings come from. It's the communication. So we have to talk with each other. So, we'll be all right.
John Krause.
Hey, Evan. When you're playing up against a team that's this potent offensively, how hard is it that when something doesn't go right for you, whether it's a missed shot or a mistake on defense, how hard is it to not get caught up in thinking that you've made the mistake? How hard is it to let go of that and to press forward?
When you mess up on offense, you mean? And it doesn't really like their approach of every game is pretty much the same. Like you want to play the best basketball you can, and when you make mistakes, I mean, it's part of the game. You don't want to think about it, and you have to stay in the moment. I think it's huge. I mean, every game it's like that. It's just the way things are. You can't think in the past. So rather you play, the best team in the NBA or the worst team in the NBA. I mean, obviously, when you play against better players, they're going to make you pay faster. But it's the same principle. You have to stay in the moment. You have to make the right play, and there's going to be mistakes. You have to push through it.
Is there any more pressure though when a team like that can build? You make a mistake against some teams, and maybe you get the ball back, but against this team, it seems like you can pile up 6-0, 8-0 runs really, really fast.
Yeah, I hear you. The thing is, when you play against a better team, you know that they won't let you make runs very easily. And so it does put more pressure on you to not turn the ball over, for example, because you don't want to give that team confidence. That's the key. But it's playoff time. It's going to be high intensity basketball. Everyone is locked in. I'm really not concerned about that at all. I think we are ready to play a hell of a good game on tomorrow.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there.
All
Thanks,
right.
Evan.